Hello, you're watching the Techno Dog channel, where I make comparisons of smartphones. Today's video will be dedicated to two top-end smartphones, the Realme X2 Pro and the Xiaomi Mi 9T Pro. I'll talk about the differences and advantages of these devices. I'll also leave links in the description so you can compare their cost. Be sure to subscribe and smash the like button. This will notify you as soon as I upload a new comparison on my channel. Well, in the meantime, I will begin comparing the Realme X2 Pro and the Xiaomi Mi 9T Pro. Make yourself comfortable. It's going to be interesting. These smartphones are very different in design, except for a slight similarity in the details. The Realme X2 Pro is slightly larger in size and weight than its rival. The case of this smartphone is made of glass panels and an aluminum frame. The front and back are made of Gorilla Glass 5. The smartphone received a huge screen with narrow frames, a drop-shaped cutout for the front camera, and a fingerprint scanner. In the case of the Realme X2 Pro, the developers have installed a next-generation scanner. It is more sensitive, and its response time is only 0.23 seconds. The smartphone has two stereo speakers on the upper and lower sides. It supports Dolby Atmos technology. You can achieve very high sound quality while listening to music and watching videos. The buttons on the case are located on both sides. On the left, there are two volume buttons. The power button is located on the right. There is also a slot for two nano-format SIM cards on the right side of the Realme X2 Pro. At the bottom of the smartphone, in addition to the speaker, there is a microphone, a USB-C connector, and a 3.5mm headphone jack. On top is another microphone. The Xiaomi Mi 9T Pro also received a glass case and Gorilla Glass 5 protection on both sides. It is slightly smaller and lighter than its rival. The display is also slightly smaller in size than the Realme X2 Pro, but its percentage to the front side is larger. This is possible thanks to the front camera of the Xiaomi Mi 9T Pro being retractable. It is located at the top end of the smartphone, which also houses a microphone and a 3.5mm headphone jack. The second microphone and speaker is located on the bottom end, next to the USB-C connector and the slot for two nano-format SIM cards. The power button and the volume rocker on the Xiaomi Mi 9T Pro, unlike its opponent, are located on one side. The fingerprint scanner, like the Realme X2 Pro, is sub-screen. It is also very fast and accurate. The back of the Realme X2 Pro has a surface which beautifully shimmers in the light. White, blue, red, and gray versions of the smartphone are available. In the center of the back of the vertical unit with cameras and a flash. The unit sticks out quite far above the case, so the smartphone sways when it is on the table. But you can always use a thick case to fix this situation. On the back of the Xiaomi Mi 9T Pro, three lenses are vertically centered. Moreover, one of them is separate, and the other two are in a block protruding slightly above the body. Below is a place for a dual LED flash. The smartphone is available in three colors. Black has a carbon pattern on the back, and the blue and red versions of the smartphone have a pattern in the form of flames diverging from the center of the back side to the edges. The Realme X2 Pro received a 6.5-inch Super AMOLED display with an aspect ratio of 20:9 and a resolution of 1080 by 2400 pixels. The refresh rate is 90 Hz, so the on-screen animations are smoother. If desired, the refresher rate can be changed to 60 Hz in the settings, which saves battery power. The screen of the Realme X2 Pro is bright, so text and images are clearly visible in sunny weather. It is also worth noting the absence of flicker with a decrease in brightness. There is no complaints about the Realme X2 Pro's display. Its quality is very high. The Xiaomi Mi 9T Pro has a smaller screen diagonal of 6.39 inches. The AMOLED matrix has a resolution of 1080 by 2340 pixels. The aspect ratio is 19.5:9. The screen is not as bright as the Realme X2 Pro's and does not support a refresh rate of 90 Hz, but still, the image and the text look very good, even in the bright sunlight. The colors are saturated, and there is no flicker when the brightness is reduced. It is worth noting the advanced reading mode, which has 256 adjustment levels and allows you to use your smartphone as an ebook reader. The Realme X2 Pro runs on Android 9 Pie with the ability to upgrade to version 10 of the operating system. It uses the proprietary shell Color OS 6, which has a simple and convenient interface. There is a dark mode adapted for most applications, which can be turned on in the evening. Also, in Color OS 6, new navigation gestures were added. The notification panel is improved, and the Smart Assistant is redesigned. Now you can access it using the swipe left from the main screen. The Xiaomi Mi 9T Pro received a proprietary MIUI 10 shell based on the Android 9 Pie operating system. In the latest update, a dark mode was added in the shell, which not only reduces eye fatigue, but also saves battery power. Also, in MIUI 10, it is worth noting the presence of gesture control and an updated volume control interface. Also, for the Xiaomi Mi 9T Pro, Mi Turbo and Game Turbo 2.0 modes are provided. It truly optimizes the smartphone during games and simultaneously launch a large number of applications. Other useful innovations of MIUI 10 is the color version of the always-on display function. Now, thanks to it, the user will see a lot of useful information on the locked screen. The Realme X2 Pro received a main camera with 64 megapixels with an aperture of 1.8, which results in highly detailed images. In addition, the smartphone has a 13-megapixel telephoto lens, providing high-quality 2x optical zoom, an 8-megapixel ultra-wide-angle camera, as well as 2-megapixel depth sensor for blurring the background. It is worth noting the ultra-night mode, which allows you to take excellent quality pictures in low-light conditions. There is a macro mode, which allows you to shoot objects from a distance of only 2.5 centimeters. There is video stabilization, which can be carried out in 4K resolution with a frequency of 30 or 60 frames per second. There is also a slow motion mode. The front camera of the Realme X2 Pro with 16 megapixels gives pictures worthy in sharpness, detail, and brightness. As for the main camera, the Xiaomi Mi 9T Pro has similar cameras, but the shooting capabilities on this smartphone are quite impressive. The triple camera with artificial intelligence received the main 48-megapixel wide-angle sensor from Sony. The resolution of the photos is 8,000 by 6,000 pixels. Also, the Mi 9T Pro has an 8-megapixel telephoto lens that provides high-quality 2x optical zoom, 10x digital zoom, and a 13-megapixel ultra-wide-angle lens with a viewing angle of 124.8 degrees. There are many useful shooting modes for creating high-quality photos. Among them is worth noting the stabilization of shooting in night mode, which allows you to take high-quality photographs in low-light conditions. Video recording, like the Realme X2 Pro, can be in 4K resolution with a frequency of 30 and 60 frames per second. There is also slow motion mode and video stabilization. It focuses on a single object in the frame while shooting a video. The front camera of the Xiaomi Mi 9T Pro, as I said, is retractable. It received a 20-megapixel sensor and a panorama function. Thanks to this, the pictures are highly detailed. You can fit even more friends in the frame. In addition, the front camera of the Mi 9T Pro has many shooting modes and artificial intelligence, which selects the best options to create a perfect photo. The Realme XT Pro received an 8-core Snapdragon 855 Plus processor, manufactured using the 7nm technology process, one of the cores of which operates at a frequency of 2.9 GHz. In the Antutu benchmark performance test, the smartphone comes out with a decent result of 482,000 points. There are 3 versions of the smartphone available, where the amount of RAM can be 6, 8, or 12 gigabytes. The amount of internal memory is 64, 128, or 256 gigabytes respectively. A slot for the memory card is not provided in the smartphone. The Xiaomi Mi 9T Pro received a slightly less powerful 8-core Snapdragon 855 processor, which was also manufactured using a 7nm process technology. The core refresh rate is 2.84 GHz. In the Antutu benchmark performance test, the smartphone scored 445,000 points. This is less than the Realme X2 Pro scored, but is still a very decent result. So all games and applications work without delay on the Xiaomi Mi 9T Pro. The smartphone is available in versions with 6GB of RAM, where the amount of read-only memory can be 64 or 128GB, or with 8GB of RAM and 256GB of read-only memory. A slot for a memory card is not provided, just like its opponent. In terms of communication capabilities, the Realme X2 Pro and the Xiaomi Mi 9T Pro are no different. Both smartphones support dual-band Wi-Fi, including the ACC standard. They have NFC modules for making contactless payments and Bluetooth version 5.0. The Realme X2 Pro received a 4000 mAh battery. It shows a good result of autonomy for a smartphone with a large screen and a powerful processor. The operating time in the video viewing mode is more than 17 hours. In the talk mode, the Realme X2 Pro is able to work for more than 27 hours. It is also worth mentioning the support for Super VOOC Flash Charge fast charging technology. Thanks to this, the smartphone charges from 0 to 100% in just 35 minutes. The Xiaomi Mi 9T Pro also has a 4000 mAh battery capacity. But taking into account that the screen size and refresh rate of the smartphone is less, the battery life is higher than that of the opponent. So in the talk mode, the Xiaomi Mi 9T Pro is capable of lasting for more than 33 hours, and in the video viewing mode, it works for more than 20 hours. It supports fast charging technology from a 27-watt power adapter, which replenishes the battery up to 50% in less than 30 minutes. I've analyzed the reviews from the Realme X2 Pro and the Xiaomi Mi 9T Pro owners. Now I will tell you what they write about these smartphones. Let's start with the negatives. Realme X2 Pro. 1. There isn't a memory card slot. 2. There isn't any waterproof feature. 3. The phone is heavy and large. Xiaomi Mi 9T Pro. 1. No memory card slot. 2. The fingerprint scanner does not always work on the first try. 3. The quality of the speaker. Realme X2 Pro. 1. Long battery life. 2. Large and bright screen. 3. It charges very quickly. 4. Great quality photos. Xiaomi Mi 9T Pro. 1. Large and bright screen. 2. Powerful processor. 3. Long battery life. 4. Good shooting quality. So today's comparison proved that the Realme X2 Pro has a clear advantage. This smartphone received a more powerful processor, a 64-megapixel camera, as well as a screen with a refresh rate of 90 Hz. The Xiaomi Mi 9T Pro only has an advantage in autonomy. But overall, this is also a decent smartphone, which is worth paying attention to. Don't forget that you can compare the cost of the Realme X2 Pro and the Xiaomi Mi 9T Pro yourself by clicking on the links in the description below. Write in the comments which smartphone you think is better and why. Now it's time to say goodbye. Subscribe to the channel and do not forget to click the bell and like this video. See you next time on TechnoDog.